Beauty can be powerful, and with Zardin, you're gonna do great. You just have to put in a little bit of effort, and then maybe just a little bit more, and then just try just a little bit harder. Greetings and salutations, killers. Welcome back. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. We're talking about Zardin, the awesome light blade unit, and he can deal some devastating damage, but you have to really work at it. So first, let's talk about the real power creep here. It's those animations. Look at that. Aren't those actually beautiful? I love it. And if that doesn't convince you to go and pull for him, then pretty much nothing else that I say in this video is going to convince you to go pull for him. It's sad, but it's true. Light has been finally getting some really great units, and Zardin's not bringing anything too new to the table other than the fact that we have a good 5-star unit now that offers that strength co-ability to everybody. That's pretty much his biggest boon. Otherwise, he could deal a lot of damage, and I'm missing some math on some things, but he could deal a lot of damage, but you have to really work for it, whereas other units like Albert and a couple others, you don't really actually have to work. You just sort of put them on the field and they do their darn job. So let's go ahead and talk about Zardin here and what makes him special, starting off with his S1 skill. Ravishing Rainbow is going to go ahead and give you 3 hits of over 300% damage, and it's going to start to energize you. Now, that's really the key here, because his S2 skill, Stunning Visage, and one of his abilities, Striker's Energy, is going to be working on giving you energy. Only you energy, mind you, okay? So that's building up on you. You need to capitalize on that. Otherwise, you're not going to be dealing a lot of damage out there. Now, a part of Stunning Visage that I skipped over to get to this point is that you actually get the ability to stun with this, and this is going to be nice. This is going to help you do some other pieces of content, because really, even though I've already sort of poo-pooed him a bit, he could go through more content than Game of Thrones has good writers on the show. Zing! Got him! Not to mention, he also has an additional strength buff whenever he's at 70% or higher in damage, and that's going to go a long way for us. So let's go ahead and talk about the content he can do, and the Wyrmprints that you can put on him, they're going to maximize his potential. Let's go ahead and start talking about High Zodiarch. I know, as of recording, High Zodiarch's not even a thing. However, he has poison resistance, and there's no way you're not going to need curse resistance. So really, this pretty much pigeonholes you to 2 Wyrmprints. The High Zodiarch Wyrmprint, and then Heavenly Holiday. That's going to give you 100% against curse resistance. And you're just going to need to do that. So you're probably going to have a really beefy Halidom in order to support that. Now, that strength buff that you're bringing to the table is going to be really nice, because now everybody's going to be dealing that much more damage. But it's still not really the best choice. I mean, like I said, those are your 2 Wyrmprints you pretty much have to take at this point. So as I mentioned before, you really want to emphasize skill damage. Now, as of recording this, there is no Wyrmprint for Blades that gives you 40% skill damage. I am willing to bet that that's going to be what you're going to want to use on him once that comes out. However, in lieu of that, there are some combinations out there that are going to get you a lot of bang for your buck. And honestly, the 4-star Blueprint one with the shadows is fantastic for so many different things. First of all, you can go and pair that up with Flash of Genius, assuming that you're going to keep the combo going, and it's not impossible. I mean, also he's in light, so you're going to potentially have Cupid on him, which is going to have a lot of hits. It's going to raise critical hit damage. That's a great pairing for him, even though you're not using the wind resistance on that particular Wyrmprint. Other things that you could do, of course, just go straight for the crit damage itself and use a Levin's Champion with one with the shadows. This really just helps augment that quite a lot, and it's really doubling down on the crit ability on things, plus it gives you just a little bit of extra damage here and there. Having said that, if you don't care too much about like the little small day-to-day hits, so to speak, but you just want to have a really big pop, then you know what, go ahead and give Flash of Genius and Levin's Champion to them both, and that's actually going to be pretty much dealing your most amount of damage. Outside of Evening of Luxury, it's not worth keeping him at 100% health. You only need to keep him at 70% to get his other ability working for him that has the extra skill damage at 70% health or higher. Just leave Evening a luxury alone. Resounding Resolve is not going to be doing a heck of a lot for him, so let's just not even worry about it right now. Believe it or not, that it's not his best Wyrmprint. You can also go into some other things. Actively running him, you could go into full 4-strike mode with him. You could do things like... it's already gone because it's a limited Wyrmprint, but I mentioned Heralds of Hinamoto along with something like Fresh Perspective. This is going to give you that 40% skill damage plus a lot of other benefits there. Speaking of, if you're actually running Zardin here, you can go ahead and keep Fresh Perspective and then do something like Together We Stand. Typical combo for people as 4-strikers. You might be wondering about Stellar Show. Believe it or not, it's not going to be better than this. So, I mean, if you don't have a good Together We Stand, or maybe even a Fresh Perspective, then you can substitute it in for one of these two, but you're going to be getting more bang for the buck. Just using these 2 4-star Wyrmprints together works out super well. If you're not going to be actively controlling him and doing 4 strikes, because remember, the AI does 4 strikes for you, but only during overdrive circumstances, then what you could go ahead and do is just something like Flower in the Fray along with one with the Shadows. That's a nice combination that doesn't rely on skill or active play in order to actually work right, and those are both 4-star Wyrmprints. It does rather well. The score is not amazingly high, but you don't need it to be amazingly high. It's optimized for him, so it's going to give you a lot of bang for your buck. So if you're going to be using them, just go ahead and learn your 4-strike combos with Blade. It's pretty much the way that he's going to be constantly charging, constantly getting his energy up so that he can deal that extra damage. And don't forget about the stun. It's going to let you go into content like the Void Battles and the other longer forms like IO and other things. That's going to save you a lot. That extra stun is amazing. So do me a favor, if you like your Dragalia Lost information hot and fresh like Grandma's cookies, hit that subscribe button. My name is Deltran. Thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate all of you. And until next time, take it easy.